Otto Graham of the Cleveland Browns.
The quarterback is the catalyst, and Otto Graham played the role of a quarterback, which is the most important position so far as having a team win for many years, and that's one of the reasons I say that Otto Graham was the greatest player I ever had.
Though he never called his own plays, Graham's ability to execute Paul Brown's system made him a winner. In every season from 1946 to 1955, Otto Graham quarterbacked the Browns to a league or conference championship. For Yale Burton Abraham Tittle, it was his will to win that made him special. Y.A. was a tough, persistent operator for the San Francisco 49ers in the early 1950s. As a passer, Tittle was nearly an artist, yet ironically number 14 is remembered best for a gimmick pass called the alley.
I never thought as a quarterback I'd ever resort to throwing an end-over-end lob-lolly pass straight up in the air and hope that somebody would come down and grab it for a touchdown, but that's what the alley-oop pass was. We had a receiver on our team named R.C. Owens that was a basketball player by trade. R.C. used to say, throw it as high as you can, straight up in the air, and please put a wobble on it because he could judge it better.
In 1957, Tittle used the alley-oop to become the NFL's most valuable player.
10 seconds left. The Lions lead it, 31-28. All right, again, Owens flank to the right. This has got to be the alley. There's no time for anything else. Tittle throws. Owens is double teamed. He's going downfield near the goal line. He goes up. He's got it! A great catch!
In 1961, and at the age of 34, Tittle was traded to the New York Giants, where his career took a dramatic turn upward. Twice, Y.A. led the league in passing, and his 36 touchdown passes in 1963 set the NFL single-season record. Records and awards he had in abundance. But what Tittle wanted most was an NFL championship. For 15 years, he committed his body and soul to this desperate chase, an Ahab mightily pursuing his great white whale. In 1963, Tittle stepped out of a hospital bed to play the Chicago Bears in the NFL championship. Sadly, however, courage was not enough. Though his will to win earned him a place in the Hall of Fame, in 1964, Y.A. Tittle was forced to retire without the one crown he treasured most. Lenny Dawson of the Kansas City Chiefs was a quiet, unassuming quarterback. But like all great quarterbacks, there burned an intense desire to win. This lifted Dawson from a journeyman NFL quarterback to one of the cornerstone stars of the American Football League. Though not the biggest, Dawson was tough. His confident sense of command earned him the nickname Lenny the Cool, while his ability to pinpoint beautiful spirals made him the NFL's third leading passer of all time. However, in 1969, a knee injury forced Layne out of action for 7 games. He did return to lead the Chiefs into Super Bowl IV, but only a few believed that number 16 could defeat the mighty Minnesota Vikings.
Come on, Layne. Pump it in there, baby. Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
Dawson did not decimate the Vikings. He just beat them with workmanlike precision.
Keep negotiating that ball right down the field, boys.
For 19 years, Layne Dawson was an outstanding field champion.
That's it, boys.
But when he led his team to the World Championship, Layne earned a place among the best ever. It's the tempo for his teammates. Like an orchestra conductor, his guidance must strike rhythms both subtle and stormy. Few mastered this as deftly as Bobby Layne. Though his arm was suspect, he inspired less by passing than by passion. A passion for winning.
I'm one person who hates to lose. I don't care if we're playing marbles or gin rummy or what we're doing. I like to be a winner. I did have a bad arm, there's no question about it, but it doesn't really count how pretty the pass is. The one time I was at the Pro Bowl game and I was there with 4 quarterbacks, Van Brocklin, Tittle, Eddie LeBaron, and myself. I could throw it just as far as any of the rest of them, and when I wanted to, it could be just as pretty. But you throw a touchdown pass, I don't care if it wobbles or goes end over end, it counts 6.
Layne directed the Detroit Lions to NFL championships in 1952 and 1953.
You feel great walking down the street when you're a champion. You don't have to stand in line for picture shows. You get a free pass and you get in first. It's a great feeling.
By instilling that feeling in others, Layne attained greatness. Norm Van Brocklin's strong desire to win was matched by an arm that made him the NFL's leading passer 3 times. In 1951, he led the Los Angeles Rams to an NFL championship as those who played rose to match his tenacity with their own. In 1960, he ignited the Philadelphia Eagles to a championship showdown with Green Bay. It was the last game he ever played, but his magnificent obsession to be number 1 had not diminished. And Norm Van Brocklin became the only quarterback in history to lead 2 different teams to NFL championships. Roger Staubach's leadership skills were nurtured at the Academy. Staubach's daring scuttled many a foe and earned him a Heisman Trophy. When he joined the Dallas Cowboys in